like this?
I don't know, a decent sized candy bar, I guess. Yeah.
It's like,
Any candy bar.
they took a candy bar out of the back of your head.
I didn't feel anything. I felt like I was only in that room for 15 minutes, but I was really in there for an hour and a half.
BeautySeek is not a medical provider. This is not medical advice. Always consult a licensed professional.
Jeanie traveled to Korea for hair restoration, expecting tiny follicle extractions. Instead, surgeons had to do a transplant procedure. She took a risk, knowing that even after surgery, there was no guarantee her hair would grow. Before we answer that, let's find out what it actually felt like to be awake while surgeons cut into her head to remove a strip of scalp. Jeanie, when you entered the operating room for your hair transplant, what did you notice first?
I noticed that there was a team, an entire team in the room, and the surgeon actually hadn't come in yet. So it was a team of three surgical assistants that were sitting along the side of the room at a table, and they were there to extract each hair follicle out of my strip of scalp that would have all of my hair follicles in it. So they would cut it out of the back of my head, about the size of maybe half of a 12-inch ruler. And then once they got it, I think they separated it into three different pieces so that all three of them could work on their segment. And individually, they very carefully pulled out each hair follicle so that the little bulb, the follicle piece at the base of it, would stay intact, because that is what was then implanted into the top of my head. So they basically pulled it out of the piece of scalp and then placed it on a tray, a surgical tray, in nice, tidy little rows for the surgeon to then be able to use that and implant them.
Okay, so the size of your scalp that was removed from the back of your head was roughly like this, six by one?
Yeah, that's about right. I don't know, a decent sized candy bar, I guess. Like
It's like,
any candy bar.
they took a candy bar out of the back of your head. Great, fantastic. What did you feel? Anything?
I didn't feel anything. I mean, I was worried that when the scalpel hit my head that I would feel a sensation, but I honestly don't. I think by that point, the light anesthesia, half sedation just kicked in, and I did not feel anything. And I didn't feel anything when the follicles were being implanted either, because I think that's also done with some sort of needle-like pen device, right? Where it's basically, it has to get inserted into the surface of your skin, and did not feel any of that as well. So I felt like I was only in that room for 15 minutes, but I was really in there for an hour and a half. That's how out of it I was.
Okay, that's nice. Just to speed through that type of a procedure has to be.
A quick reminder before we continue. Choosing hair restoration is a deeply personal journey, and there is no need to rush it. If you are considering it but aren't quite ready yet, tap the save icon on this video right now. Bookmark Jeannie's incredible transformation and keep it as your personal inspiration. It will be right here waiting for you, exactly when you are ready to take that step.
So were you still heads down when your scalp was removed, and then did you remain heads down while they were inserting the follicles?
I think I might have turned on my back for when it was time for the implantation, because the site that he implanted everything was from here all the way back. And so I think he was sitting on a chair in front of my head, and I was then laying on my back so that he had full access.
Okay, so you needed to move mid-procedure, potentially,
Right.
if you're remembering correctly.
Well, possibly, or he might have just wheeled a chair around, because I remember the table I was laying on, kind of like a facial or a massage table where there was a pillow with a cutout for your face. So now that I think about it, because what was removed was back here, they probably didn't want me to like lay on it, because they did have to suture it and staple it back up. And so they did that, and then I think he wheeled around and sat down so that he could have access to this area.
Okay, so they sutured and stapled the scalp that was removed first, and then they moved to actually transplanting.
Yes.
Tell me about your scar. Is it relief? How can you feel it?
I
Do you
don't feel
notice
it.
it?
I don't feel it at all. I had my family members take some photos of it right after when it was still shaved. So as far as I can feel and tell, there's nothing there. Like I don't feel a ridge. I don't feel any tenderness. I don't think I ever felt really any tenderness. It was the way that they sutured it up and then stapled it, it just healed very, very quickly. And I didn't have to worry about uh, being careful washing my hair because they actually shampooed it for me. I came in 3 different times and they had somebody, shampoo my hair with medicated shampoo. And I mean, literally, it healed so quickly. I was very happy with how little to zero downtime I really had.
That's amazing. So you don't even feel a relief kind of area where the scar is. That's amazing.
No,
Do you wear your hair up now?
no, because I have many rows of sew-in extensions. So I, have extension beads even down here. So I never wear my hair up. If anything, I'll just pull it back if I need to, do some heavy working out or something and I don't want all this hair in front of me. But I never wear a high ponytail.
So when you first, the procedure was over, what was the first thing you remember?
Well, I was in the recovery room, which is a little bit down the hall from the OR, and I was very kind of still loopy and foggy and was kind of rambling a lot. And my translator concierge was right there in the same room. So I think it probably took me a good 45 minutes of just laying there to truly become fully awake again. So I don't really even remember getting over to that recovery area. They might have wheeled me over, I don't know, but I was able to lay down and I was comfortable and it was a private room. And so, yeah, it was a good transition from being in the operating room to having time to come to fully in the recovery area. And then I was able to go down to the main like reception area.
And then you left, so there was no overnight. This was an outpatient
No, I mean,
procedure.
I think I took the subway back to our Airbnb.
Oh,
Even
fantastic.
though I had like what looked like almost a maxi pad on the back of my head, it was like a big, thick, cottony, bandage with surgical tape holding it to the back of my head. So I looked kind of crazy, but luckily, Korea, it's very widely accepted that people get a lot of procedures done all the time. And so you'll see people walking around in public with full nose braces or like chin like bandages or full like head bandages. Like no one thinks twice about it because it's just a part of the culture there and it's widely accepted. So no one stared. I didn't feel out of place, walking around out on the sidewalk with this big bandage on the back of my head.
Oh, that's lovely.
Mm.
Okay, that's fantastic. I remember coming back from a procedure I did out of state, and I just wouldn't wear the bandage because I was just too embarrassed.
Mhm.
Jeannie's strip of scalp was removed. The grafts were dissected. They were transplanted into her hairline, and the hair transplant surgery was over. But the real test of her hair restoration had just begun. Next on Beauty Seeks, swelling, scar healing, uncertainty, and the waiting to see if new hair actually grew.
Here is a truth you need to hear. An informed decision is your best protection. Before you even think about writing a check for any hair restoration procedure, you need the facts. Go to the comments right now and type the word restore. When you do, we will privately send you the 10 critical questions you must ask any specialist. Type restore below and don't spend a single dime until you read them.